Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure and a privilege to stand before you. And really, it is a challenging for me to stand and speak so lengthy in English. I'm very poor in English, but still, I think God will help me. And I come from India, and I am really privileged. The Pakistani, my neighboring country, testifying about me. Yeah, I love him. I respect him. Usually, when I just came into Tyndale, Mr. John has introduced me, Shoham, and I asked him, from where you are? He said, I'm from Pakistan. Oh, it's a very wonderful thing. Though our countries are in war, still we are friends here. And I come from India. I come from Hyderabad, South India. And you know, the Hinduism is a major religion, and Christianity is very little, very few in number, and we have Sikhism and Buddhism. And next, coming to my personal life, because I was asked to complete within 10 minutes. Thank you for this 10 minutes. So next slide, please. And I cannot go without saying about this great man of God. He's from Punjab. He's a Punjabi Sikh. He has brought a great vision, and millions of in India, they came to Christ because of this Hindu convert. And me, I am blessed to be a part of this ministry. Next, coming to my personal life, she is my wife, Suvarna Rani. It's difficult for you to pronounce. And it's my church, Bethel Prayer House, where I used to serve God. And coming to my salvation, can you change it? They are my parents, not only my physical parents, not only my biological, they are my spiritual parents who have prayed for me. And I certainly believe that their prayers have brought me to Christ. Because one day when I got up in the midnight for washroom, I saw my parents kneeling down on the floor, and they were shedding tears for me. I was shocked to hear my mom was crying for me, for my salvation. And I think that was the first step of my faith. And I was when I was born, my parents were nominal Christians. We used to attend Church of South India, very traditional one, very nominal Christianity. My father was addicted to alcohol, and our family was restless. We had no good time in our house because my father used to fight with my mother, and it was totally restless. A day came when I saw my father kneeling down, praying, reading Bible. I was really shocked. What has happened to my father? And the next day, he has asked us to come for the family prayer. So every morning, 5 o'clock, he asked us to come for the family prayer. After family prayer, we are all asked to read one chapter from Old Testament. And I was in shock. What has happened to my father? And he shared his testimony with us, how God has touched him. And from there, he is not just my father. I respect him a lot because his life was the second step of my faith in Christ. Later on, in my life, my testimony, I can say that I was blind, now I can see. Because though I was born in, my parents were spiritual, they were very strict. I was not exposed to these worldly things. No movies, no television, no playing and going with friends. Nothing was there. Either I should be in school or in church or at home. These were only the three places where my father used to allow me. And I used to think that he was so cruel, and so he was. It was very difficult for me. One day I thought of running out of my house because I could not bear all this torture. And I was going out to catch some train and get away from my home. Suddenly I heard a voice, Xavier. When I lifted my eyes, I saw my father before me. I said that he is here also. So he held my hand. He brought me to home. And I saw my father crying for me. I was shocked. I thought he was so cruel. He used to always chasten me a lot. And I saw him crying. And that day, I changed my opinion about my father. I knew that how much he loved me. And one day, I went for swimming, where one of my friend, he did not know the swimming, he was drowned and he died. And I used to hear all the messages, all the gospel. And that day, God has visited me. The voice was strongly speaking in my heart. What is your eternity? Where are you going to be if you die today? And I could not answer that question. And my heart was convicting me that you are a sinner. And I know that I am a sinner. And I became restless. I went into my room. I confessed all my sins. And then and there, I felt the joy of salvation. And after that moment, I was not the same. I do not know what has happened. And my parents were so happy to see me saved, because I was so mischievous in my childhood. My mother used to take half of my beatings from my father. And she used to say, why are you behaving like this? Because of you, I am taking all your torture. So, after my salvation, this was the best book of my life. And every day I used to hear God speaking to me from this book. When I go to church, all my life I spent in my church. I don't have any worldly things to be with the people, but I used to be with my father in my church. We used to go to outreach gospel. It's very different. So from my childhood, I used to be with my father in all this ministry. And later on, when I finished my 12th grade, I was seriously ill. I was operated, and later on, within a week, the operation has failed, and I was kept in intensive care unit, and I thought I am going to die. And on that day, I could see it was an emergency ward in Hyderabad. It was the biggest hospital. When I was admitted in that hospital, I could see within 5 minutes, one body was taken out. They were dying. And all the beds were over, and the next one, he went away. And I am just thinking, next I am going to be taken out. And in India, it's very, very rude. The nurses will come and pack, and they are throwing the bodies. I said that my body is going to be thrown out, like that. And my father came to me. He said to me, God is going to heal you. You are going to serve God. I am in very painful situation. And my father said that you are going to live to serve God. He prayed for me. He left me. Operation was successful. As soon as I got from my bed, my dad was beside me. He gave me a Bible. He asked me to read my daily portion. I thought that, is it must? Yes, it is must. He opened my daily portion. He started reading from Jeremiah 1st chapter, 5th verse. God was strongly calling me. And I felt that God was speaking to me that to serve me, I have saved you, with no other purpose. So on that day, I committed my life on my bed. So later on, when I came to the church, my father resigned his job. He came for full-time service. He became a pastor. And after looking closer to the church and all the things, after my father left his job and when he came to the service, financially we have suffered a lot, because in serving in India is not that much easy thing. It was very difficult. We are 5 siblings, and my father was not having enough money to even to send me a college. 1 year I have to stay back at home. So I thought that this Christianity is little difficult. Serving God is not that much easy. But later on, I have waited for 9 years for confirming the call of my service. So I came to full-time service in 1999, March 3rd, and I was saved in at the age of 14 years, and I have committed my life in 1999. After that, unlike other churches, I was trained by my senior pastors, so where I could learn few things. They sent me to the church. I was ministering among the tribal people. I believe that more than what I taught them, I have learned from my church. So all the time, I used to learn from simple person too. So there God has been blessing me, and finally I was not married. My father called me and told me that we have seen a girl and you have to get married. And I said, okay, you can fix the date. And he said that, don't you want to see a girl? No, I believe you. Because in my house no one has seen their spouses before their marriage. So I believe that my parents were praying for me from the childhood. I believe that my parents will choose always the best. So I did not feel that I have to go and chat with her and speak with her, nothing doing. On the day of marriage, I saw my wife. I loved my wife. She is also the daughter of a pastor. My father-in-law was a pastor. And she serves among the children and the women. So coming to my journey to Tyndale, I can say this is a completely God's will for me. Because I was, me and my wife, every day we used to spend an hour separately in prayer for our ministry. So I had a thought of leaving to some unreached area. So I shared with my wife to pray for the future ministry, because I was in city, I was having everything. These are the Sunday school teachers, children's ministry which we have prepared, and we have some other brothers also who were helping me in the Twin Cities ministry. As we were praying together, God has opened the doors in Twin Cities where 30 churches came to me and asked for, to help in the ministry. So my ministry, I did not even imagine that I will be ministering to certain Lord churches. And by God's grace, again it spread to another state. I felt there was a lot of need of preachers. And my goal and my vision was to prepare someone who can go out, because usually I used to go to the villages. I was seeing the need of ministry. So God has opened this way that I was praying, and I felt of going out to that unreached areas, because we do not have children, and we thought of going out and to minister to these poor people. And me and my wife, we have been praying, but when these people, I think we have 40 ministers with 40 churches, and they asked me, why don't you teach us, train us? I said, I don't have any training. How can I teach you? And this question has been pondering in my heart, and I felt that why don't I go and learn certain things systematically and also teach these people. So I have decided, when I prayed and applied, I got an admission. So my wife, she never parted with me all these 20 years, and she was struggling. And I say that if you have peace, I will go, or else I will not go. One fine day, she got up and told that I have peace in God. You can go and minister, learn things. So on June 10th, I came to Tyndale. I can say that this is a wonderful place for me to learn. I am really enjoying. I am thankful for the staff and the professors. They are wonderful and wonderful. I don't have any words, because the way they treat us, the way they teach us, it's amazing. I will cut my testimony, and I pray. I request you to pray for my future ministry. I am planning to go out, because you have been seeing it was only at 2%, not more than that. And my ministry, I want to reach out to the unreached people. And Twin Cities in Hyderabad and Secunderabad, we have 40 churches. And December, all the churches will go out for gospel. You know that there is a opposition. It is very difficult now, but still they are going. We'll never stop giving gospel. That's our vision. That's our goal. And God may prepare my wife and me so that we may bring glory to God. Thank you.